Welcome in to another 10-minute masterclass. This is using your bold statement to revolutionize your posts. So far, we covered that your brand is not a logo. It is an emotion somebody feels when they think of your business. Your I hope statement is keeping you playing small and frankly sounding like everybody else. And now we want you to start moving into that space of really bold clarity to revolutionize your brand. So, what is bold clarity? This is a great example. I use this when I was talking about your brand is not a logo. Both of these companies defined their brands during the infamous denim wars of the summer of 2025. So they each took a stance. They each had strong messaging and positioning, and they stuck with it. They communicated that position through a combination of who they cast in their commercials and in their ads, what kind of music they had, what kind of marketing they did around it, with different types of clips and formats of the same marketing campaign they did. So they communicated it through multiple pieces of print, ads, video, all sorts of different elements, right? But they stuck with the same bold message. And it had the public drawing a line in the sand saying, I'm Team Gap, or nope, I'm with American Eagle on this one. And people really identified clearly with one or the other. And this is in large part because they took a bold step in their marketing, and that dripped down into their social media content. Now, I gave you two formulas to help you get to that clarity point in the last video. One of them is this formula of results without pain point, even if fear. So this looks like 40% increase in sales without the overwhelm, even if you're new to social media. And I'll be real, this one right here is one of my favorites. I've brought in legitimately billions of dollars from this formula. And it's also a content creation machine, because you could make a whole batch of content just about results, a whole batch of content about pain point and problem aware, and an entire batch of content on blocks or fears that people have. And it would all still align within the message. And then you post them in rotation and build out these messages even farther in conversation. So this is just a powerhouse structure. The other one that I gave you is results, emotion, and unique system or solution. This is very common in marketing. So it's investor ready websites in 30 days, which, to be honest, I just love this example because I think it's a great line. But the reason I got to this one is because I was on a call with somebody and I asked them what they do. And they said, oh, I make websites for startups and it helps them with clients and investors. Some of them are looking for different kinds of funding. It took them 4 or 5 sentences to tell me what they did. And we got them down to this in 15, 20 minutes. And it's a much bolder, strong, clear stance to be in. And legitimately, both of these formulas communicate more confidence because it's clear and to the point as well. That's great, Jazz. I'm sure you're all thinking, but how do you actually turn this into content? So we're going to start that process today by breaking down these 3 pieces. Number 1, keep with a bold approach. I cannot tell you how many times over the years somebody has hired me to create a bold message only to then post watered down content, or content that just sounds like every other bland post on LinkedIn, or just a tricks and tips on TikTok without really going in deep to their content or using any of that bold messaging. So you want to stop blending in and playing it safe, and you want to step out and start leading with conviction. And I want to take this opportunity to remind you that bold doesn't mean loud. It doesn't mean rage bait. It doesn't mean dancing. It doesn't mean gimmicks. It means clarity and strength of clarity. And that allows you to let go of a lot of noise and really focus on showing up passionately, strong, and bold about what you do and who you are. So it allows your confidence to show through. We want to stay with that bold approach all the way through. The next one is keeping your main goal front and center. A lot of people get overwhelmed by social media because their goal changes. They start to be the goal of, I just need more views, or I just need to post 4 times a week without any real goal associated, just kind of picked a number. So we want to be super, super clear. Like when somebody works with me, it's the first question I ask them. And then if things get muddy at all at any point, I go, okay, let's just redefine our goal. Where are we really trying to take you? And they'll tell me, I'm looking to make 7 figures next year. And I'm like, great. So let's align your messaging, your marketing, your strategy, and your sales goals so that you're all matched up to hit that number. So it's not just a hope. You've actually set things in play to make that happen. Every post should be moving you closer to that goal. Anything else is a side quest. But what's great about having your clarity of goal and really creating your content from that goal is that you no longer chase all these random trends, all these things that kind of shiny object syndrome around the internet get you trying different things. So you want to make sure to revisit your goal consistently to make sure that you are on the right path for where you want to go. And then the last one is creating a rotation of messaging. This is what we're going to actually break down in the next video. But the concept is you want to have a cycle of educate, connect, convert, authority, and community. And like I said, we're going to break that down in the next video. But what this does is it helps create batching your content. It helps simplify your content creation process, which helps prevent burnout. It starts building in automatic repetition into your content, and repetition builds recognition. Repetition builds recognition. The most famous example of this has got to be Nike with the Just Do It. They've been saying that for 30, 40 years, but it sticks almost to the point that you can't say that in a different situation without still thinking of Nike. And it is the repetition and the commitment to that that has gotten them that recognition. So we want to stay consistent, but we also want to be cycling through different content pieces. And then from there, we drip in parts of your bold statement as hooks. So for the Investor Ready website, for example, these are some hooks that could be used for the beginning of a video, for the top of a sales page, for call to actions, for different posts that you might make. We build pretty websites, or we don't build pretty websites. We build investor magnets, or which I'm a little on the fence on, but conceptually it still works. Your website is your first pitch deck. You're still redesigning, others are raising. And then this one, funding conversations start with your homepage and go from under construction to overfunded. So there's a lots of ways that you can start playing with it. And again, using this as hooks and content and really building out your messaging around this in different formats. So you want to start dripping these ideas of what your main message is throughout the rest of your content. And honestly, when you create content this way, you actually end up with the opposite problem of too much content. And this is where people start getting that really high visibility because now they're posting 3 or 4 times a day. They're able to build up their YouTube and their LinkedIn at the same time because they have so much content, so much ideas, and so many conversations they're having that suddenly it's not a hassle to build content. It's something that's becoming this energy around your brand and your business. So it's a really wonderful and powerful shift. So in the next live, we are going to be designing that content rhythm